This video is how to go from collector to an antique dealer, or vintage, or how to go from a hoarder to a dealer. You could do that too. Just a few things about, if you love to buy vintage, if you love to go to flea markets, estate sales, garage sales, but all that stuff that you've been collecting is piling up and you don't know what to do with it. Or it's just time to do something different. You want to try the collecting to dealer world, which is how most antique dealers or antique shop owners get started. Believe it or not, that's how I got started. Is I love costume jewelry, so I collected it. Well, I got so much that it started becoming like, what do? You can only display so much stuff, right? That shows your personality. So I started trading. I started realizing I could go to outdoor markets or flea markets, estate sales. I went places where there were people that had the same interests as me. And I said, look, I have this designer, I had a piece of like Coro, which is C-O-R-O, and it's made in the 60s. It's usually really nice, a lot of rhinestones. And I took it to a dealer and I said, look, I have this, but I'm interested in trading for this. And she actually did it. So that was kind of my very first trade. So that's something you can think about when you start going from being a collector to becoming a dealer. So that's a thought. Also, you could find a local antique mall that maybe wants to rent a shelf. I know that there's one here in our little town that has shelves available. It's a way to get started, you know, small scale, without feeling too much pressure and without dealing with the public, because you don't really, someone else is going to be there for you. You're going to pay a little bit of booth rent or shelf rent, and then you're going to pay a percentage to the person that owns that antique shop or antique mall. Also, another way is if you're not intimidated by dealing with the public, you could rent a space at a local art fair or a local flea market. You know, there's lots of small scale, you know, markets that happen all over the U.S. and I imagine even internationally. See about renting just a table. Start out small. You don't have to have everything perfect. That's the key, is just learn about what you're selling, and it's easy to sell it. Figure out the best prices, and I'll touch on that in a future video. Another important thing to think about is the value of the items that you're selling and where you're buying. Because you're going to want to make a profit or you won't stay in business very long. So think about where you're buying. I guess the first thing you would do is learn the value of what you love. You know, usually any salesman will tell you, if you love what you're selling, you can sell it. So learn about what you love. I actually, you know, got a few books. You can get books at the library. Today, with the internet, you can do research on just about anything you love. So you can find out values, but you're going to want to think about, where am I buying this and where am I going to sell it? Because you're not going to want to buy at the high end retail and then try to sell it for even more, unless you find something in a shop that you know has a bigger value. And my best advice that I can probably give you starting out is, the way you price things is the way you're going to make money. And don't price at the top of the market. Like, you find out something is worth $50. My best advice could be, price it somewhere in the middle. Make sure you're not paying $48 for it to make $2. You're going to want to try to make double, or, you know, you're not always going to make double, but at least, say if you buy something that's worth, you know, it's worth $50 and you know that, but that, you know, that's high retail. I would say try to pay $20 for it, you know, and then try to make $15 or $20. Start out low. Don't try to you're just going to always be thinking about that value. Think about the value. Learn the value. Learn about what you love and what it's worth. There are so many ways. A lot of times auctions will have a preview day, and you get to go the day before, take pictures of what you love, take it home, make sure you get the signatures of what it is, the name, a good clear picture. So when you go home and you look at that, you can look it up and see what the value is. We'll do a video about figuring out values for you, and we'll do that real soon for you so that you know how to do that. But buying lower than it's worth and selling at a fair price is going to be where you're going to be successful in this. We in our shop, even though it is considered a retail shop, I do not price everything at the top high retail, or I try not to. And you make your money when you buy, so you have to think about that. One thing to think about when you're buying is, how much can I sell this for? That's going to be probably your the biggest make it or break it, whether you're going to be successful at being an antique or vintage dealer, is what am I going to sell it for? And there's so many ways, from checking out books at the library, yes, the library, buying books online, and some big antique shows sometimes sell books, or just learning the websites that you can go to that will tell you the value of items. And there's some out there that are paid websites, and there's some out there for free. It's just learning what to do. And we'll do a video on that, discovering the value of antiques and vintage. So that's probably where we're going to end here. So like and subscribe so you can get notification of our videos, and please share it with your friends. You guys have a great day from Firehouse Antiques in New Harmony, Indiana.